That's right. New legislation, new laws that help your credit scores, your credit repair. Hey, it just started, just happening. Just got the information in, so I want to get this on the live ASAP to you. I just sent an email out to the Subscribe Tribe, at thesubscribetribe.com for the dates and times when I go live. You get information like this broken down for you so you can understand what's going on, okay? So, yes, the House is working on legislation, pass some legislation to have these bills come out that could be approved or not approved. It could be ratified into, turned into laws, maybe not turned into laws, okay? So let's talk about that. I got no email, playa. Maybe it just came in. Maybe check your promotions. If you have Gmail, there's like a promotions tab. So maybe it's in there. Yo, hey, what up? Blackbeard Dave. TJ Murphy, I heard FICO is going to change. We've done that on our last couple of lives, TJ. And yes, I can talk about the FICO as well. Okay, I can talk about FICO and the new legislation. Also, I get to go and get to live, get to talking here. And, of course, it's a work day. So I will have to get back to the emails and right in the middle of the work day, right? It's lunchtime, it's live time. I'll have to get back to emails and working with customers and clients and all this stuff. Greetings, happy Thursday. Thank you. No notification. Danny, what you mean no notification? Professor Weaver, appreciate it. It's so nice and fun to go live. I appreciate everyone here. Adam, that's fine. Latoya, I'm here for that good info. All right, excellent. So I think we've got the Subscribe Tribe in. Telearm is in here. Blackbeard Day, all the individuals that are here. So new legislation. So it's new. I'm going to read some stuff to you, and I'm going to break down what it means for credit scores and credit repair, okay? So the House passed on Wednesday, okay? So just recently, right? Just yesterday. Legislation aimed to overhauling some consumer credit reporting, giving us more protection, opportunities for people to rebuild their credit. What they want to do is they've got a package of 6 bills here that could pass, all right? Could pass. 6 bills passed along party lines. It includes language calling for the CFPB to establish, and this is Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, to establish a credit rehabilitation process. All right, they want to keep credit reported agencies from including defaulted delinquent student loans. Okay. They would like, this is interesting, they would like the CFPB to have the power to stop the credit reporting agencies from putting those negative, nasty, delinquent, and defaulted student loans on the credit reports. After the borrower makes 9 monthly payments on time, they will also want private lenders to offer repayment plans to those facing economic hardship who are looking to rehabilitate their credit scores. This is really good. Aside from, getting rid of all the student loan stuff, right? And that student loan forgiveness that I hear about that, who knows, right? Angela Rose says, wow, that's awesome. So this still has to get voted into law, right? This is just legislation that they're turning into bills. It's not just yet, right? They're just bills. They want to put this forward. They want to get this into law, but the process is starting. This would be great, okay? Now, this legislation also includes provisions that would help strengthen restrictions on people looking into your credit for employment decisions, okay? So people looking into your credit. Hey, Brian Knight, I see you as well. Okay. Can you freeze the credit bureaus and still dispute items? Yes, you can. Absolutely. Okay. So they would like people to stop looking at your credit for employment decisions unless necessary for positions that require background checks by federal, state, or local law, or for a national security clearance that require background checks by a federal, state, or local law, or for national security clearance. So what that sounds like to me is that even though some places maybe require a background check, okay, even though some places might require a background check to work there, they may not be able to look at your credit unless it's required by law for a background check, okay? Okay, Brandon, you're losing weight. Don't make me come and cook for you. You look thin. I know I'm looking thin, working too much, stressing too much. I need to get my fade. I need to get a fade on, get my line up. Yep. Okay. I appreciate it. Yeah, you gonna cook for me? I'm plant-based. You know I'm plant-based. But I need to get some more calories, okay? So, individuals trying to get employment and they don't need to get a national security clearance, and the background check is not required by federal, state, or local laws. The employer might not be able to in the future, if this legislation becomes law, if these bills become law, they might not be able to look at your credit for this type of decision making. That's big too. That's huge. Okay. Let's see. Make sure you're emailing me here. This is my email. I'll give it to you right now. Okay. So this is, I think, very helpful. I think this is great. And when looking at this, you got to remember, and this is what a lot of people look at here, is that the consumers are not customers of the credit reporting agencies. We are the consumers, okay? The consumers, we are the product. Credit reporting agencies package up our data, the consumer data, to sell to lenders, employers, and other businesses. The system of consumer credit reporting is pretty badly broken, okay? And consumers like us have little recourse except for, unless you know these types of skills here, okay? Unless you got these letters, 609creditrepair.com, or you got us doing it at theawesomelifegroup.com, okay? The article even says right here, it says, our system of consumer reporting is badly broken and consumers have little recourse. It is typical for credit reports to be filled with unacceptable errors that are difficult for consumers to correct. Hey, we know we can get these nasty, negative, erroneous, unverified items off, okay? Get these. This is, for us, we can do it. For other people, it might be difficult. Even with us doing it, you got the team, you got me helping you email, get you to the other side, right? The average consumer out there doesn't know where to turn, what to do. So this type of legislation could help. This, I think, is fantastic. It's getting a little bit of a pushback from the upper chamber at this point. You know, it's politics, it's laws, it takes time. You know, one party puts it in, the other party is like, oh, well, we don't want to let this happen because we want our, you know, cronies at the bureaus to be making all this money off of people, right? So it's difficult. So we'll see if it comes to fruition. Much like the new FICO. We'll see if the new FICO comes to fruition, if it comes to reality, if it becomes real. FICO 10. Okay. FICO 10, and this is what's interesting about FICO 10, it's actually weighing personal loans, unsecured personal loans, a little bit heavier. So they're thinking, okay, debt consolidation is happening with unsecured personal loans. We see that. And then individuals will go up and maybe they get another card or something to take care of the needs that they have. Yeah. People already in a pinch, already in a bind, having to consolidate. Maybe they don't know where to go, what to turn to. They do this and now their credit score comes down. That's what FICO 10 is unfortunately working with. Okay. Now, people have asked me, self-lenders. Self-lender is okay. It's a loan, self-lender. Would that hurt on FICO 10? It doesn't appear to be negative because it is a secured loan. FICO 10 is going to be looking at unsecured loans as potentially heavier weight. Oh, you got an unsecured loan. Well, it's not backed by a car or mortgage or cash. Okay. Bree Woods, you're awesome. My score is going up tremendously. Thank you. Okay. FICO 10. Okay. FICO 10 is not even in the work. It's not even out yet. So it might come out in the summertime. And even if it does, it might not get picked up by lenders. We're on FICO 8 typically for the most part, generally speaking. And there's a FICO 9. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I wouldn't sweat this FICO 10 too much. And mortgages, you want to get a house, they're still using FICO 2, 5, and 4. So you tell me, should you worry about FICO 10? I don't think you need to worry about anything, okay? Everything's going to be perfectly fine, okay? You're going to be perfectly fine, all right? People getting nasty negative bankruptcies and deletions and all this negative score. My score went up 100 plus points. Thank you, okay? Look at this. Let's see. My score is 740, okay? Great. So people could do this. You can do this. Everything's going to be A-okay. And if this legislation goes into law, if these bills go into law, things could get better, okay? But right now, they're just talking about it, just working it, just proposing it, yeah? They've got the bills ready to rock and roll, but it's got to get approved into law to hopefully keep these student loans, these delinquent student loans off the reports, okay? Giving the CFPB the ability to start this rehabilitation process for individuals who want to boost their score and not have their student loans, delinquent student loans on there, right? The ability for the consumer, us, to not have our credit looked at when we're trying to get employment, okay? That's what's proposed. We'll see if it goes in law. I'll keep you up to date with that. Okay, so now we have some questions here, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to put my email here again, okay? Because you know how it goes. I get to talking, I get to going, I get to answering questions, and then I got to get back to taking care of customers and clients and emails and all this good stuff. Because if it's lunchtime, it's live time, right? And so I don't want to miss any of your questions. I want to answer your questions, so you can email me, okay? Izzo de Silva finally made it. That's the man. Buy his program, follow his tutorial, and send those letters. It works. Went from 490 to 650 in Experian, 630 in TransUnion, 735 on Equifax. Congratulations, Izzo de Silva. Got my wife approved for first Amex card last night. 1K Blue Delta Sky Miles. Couldn't have done it without your videos, email support. Thank you, good sir. You're very welcome, Randy. I appreciate you. Oh, Courtney. So if you dispute an item, Courtney's asking if Courtney Sampson, if you dispute an item, okay. And also want to let you know, the House legislation and all this stuff. It was great. I woke up this morning, the team had already informed me. I saw it as well, but the team had already informed me. The team had pushed it through my desk so I could get this out to you ASAP. So thank you very much to the Awesome Life Group. We're on it all day long. That's all we do, okay? Courtney Sampson is asking, if we dispute and they quote unquote verify, does that reset the statute of limitation? No, it does not. No, it does not. No. What usually could reset a statute of limitation is actually paying on something. That's why a lot of times people are like, I don't be paying these collectors. Not only can they not verify it, as soon as you do, now you've reset statute of limitation. Although you can still dispute, and if they can't be verified, they have to be deleted, okay? Tony M, is there a form on 709? Tony M, I'm not sure what you mean. Federal student loans. All right. Got it. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I put my email there, Tony. Okay. So you can dispute your student loans. You can get them off there. You can send in your exercise equity letter, see if they have a contract, a master promissory note. Okay. You can do all that, Tony. But if you feel like they're about to take your refund, okay, these federal student loans, because federal student loans, they can kind of just do whatever they want. It's the government, right? Rehab. Unless you can get them, what you could do is you could send your, this is an issue though, you're about to file your returns, right? You let it go a little long, all right? So you could dispute it. You could send in your letter to exercise your equity. But if you file your return and they're in that delinquent status, they might try to take your return. The problem, though, is then you would potentially have to do a rehab program, get it out of delinquency to be able to get your return, right? You could always, I don't know what your financial situation is, not financial advice. You got to talk to your accountant. This is also, you want to talk to a CPA about this, because this is, you can't give any tax advice. But if they weren't able to be verified and they weren't, they didn't have a contract and all that stuff, that might change things. But I don't know what your financials is. I don't know when you need to file your returns. So I put my email here so you can do that. Okay. All right. I disputed and I never received my investigation results. Then they never responded to you, Kitty NYC 27. They never responded to you. You can send your non-response letters. And that's a violation. Actually, I just was doing a video on violations here. Not responding to you in 30 days is a violation of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Okay. If you're just joining us now, you may want to watch the replay as well for the new legislation that the House is looking into, trying to get these bills passed. Okay. This legislation is basically, consider it like writing stuff up, getting ready, presenting it to try and get into law. Okay. It's not law yet, but it's trying to get into law. And you may want to watch this replay and see what it's all about, because it could really help. Garrett, it depends on who owns the debt, because you're not sure, right? The lawyer collector. Are they just representing? But yes, the credit union should not have a balance, right? If the balance is with the collector. Can you please repair my credit? Awesome Life Group LLC. Let me see here. AwesomeLifeGroup.com. Then the creditor shouldn't have a balance sitting there if the collector / lawyer has a balance on the report. They shouldn't have a balance. Only one can have a balance: the creditor or the collector, not both. That actually happened to me. I'm trying to remember that. That happened to me back in the day. I remember exactly which one too. But they all removed 15 negative accounts on 3 different reports for a total of 45 negative items deleted. That's how I started. $9 months, $5 a month to rehab, Marcus says, the student loans. That could stop them from potentially garnishing your return, right? And yep, that's what Marcus says. And yes, the rehabilitation. And with the new legislation, hopefully getting passed, hopefully, right? Okay, fingers crossed. The idea would be that after 9 months, you rehab the loan and it's off your reports, and it's never on there ever again. Right now it gets rehabbed and it's positive, but they want it off the reports. And this is what's great. Everyone knows. Every politician knows these student loans are nonsense. Okay. Marcus actually went from 550 to 720 with your letters. Thank you very much, Marcus. I appreciate it. All right. Randy Smith, wow. Upgraded Capital One Platinum card to Quicksilver with rewards. Had a specific link, and the upgrade was available. This is what's interesting about Capital One is they'll let you upgrade your cards. Capital One has had secured cards change into unsecured cards that are usually platinum cards or whatnot. And then the platinum card, you can get upgraded to Quicksilver, you get cash back. I mean, I recommend the Self.Inc., right? The Self Lenders, the secured cards, the My Jewelers Club card, the New Coast Direct, the Capital One, these kinds of cards to rebuild relatively quickly. Capital One secures, Capital One platinums, Capital One Coast pretty quickly. That's how you build your credit, alongside disputing these negative, nasty, erroneous items off of there, getting these negative, disgusting, unverified, inaccurate items off there. All right. Thank you very much. All right, let's see. Some of these questions we have answered. All right. Let's see. What do we got? I know. I was like, what is Melinda saying? I'm on the edge of my seat. And if you found, I don't know. I don't get it. It's the best way to remove collections. All right, Latoya. Send your dispute letters to the bureaus at the same time as the collectors. See what they come back with. If the collectors don't bring anything back to you, what you could do is you could send a 623 method letter to the original creditor saying, hey, you told me to go to the collector and it's on the bureaus still. You still report on the bureaus. The collectors don't have anything. While you send your second round to the bureaus and to the collectors, and you can file a complaint to the CFPB at the same time. Should be very effective. Also, if they don't, quote unquote, tell you the verification or method of verification after round 2, you'll have enough for violations of keeping, inaccurate information on there, unverified information, unvalidated information, stuff that they have on there, and you can utilize that again if necessary. But it's very, very, very powerful stuff. See, this is what I was just talking about, the 623 method with the collector. Malik is asking, thank you for the super chat. Thanks to you, both my collections have been removed. How do I respond to a creditor that admits to not being able to validate my charge off? This is great. This is great. So we have a 623 method letter that literally says, hey, you couldn't validate it. You said it was with the collector. Now they weren't able to validate. You need to remove it. And we have a getting original creditor to verify, quote unquote, this information. You have this then in writing. Is that correct, Malik? They can't verify it? Or did you just have it on the phone? Because you need to get it in writing so you can send it into the bureaus, okay? And you can send a letter into the bureau saying they weren't able to verify, they weren't able to find or substantiate signed contract. They admit they can't. This is the type of stuff, this is what we're talking about. Malik is saying, hey, the original creditor cannot verify my charge off, and yet it still sits there. Okay. So we have the letter. He said, and you can put it in here, you were not able to verify this 100%. I have what I spoke to whomever. I have this letter. You can send it. And I demand that you either provide proof or delete immediately. Okay. I prefer not to litigate. I'll use the courts if necessary to enforce my rights on the FCRA. And I'm just paraphrasing here. Okay. Of course, no legal advice, just educational information. Yeah, Malik says, I have the letter. Malik says, I have the letter that they said they couldn't bear. Man, you send that letter into the bureaus. You let them know. You send your dispute letter, your 609 dispute letter in with that letter. Get that off. File a complaint with the CFPB, upload it in their portal. That thing needs to be gone. Okay, and if it stays there, that could be a potential violation. The courts are open to you. Not legal advice, just the courts are open to you. Thank you, Glass Arm, for the super chat. Is myfico.com still the best place to pull your credit report with score? Well, if, works with your budget and whatnot, myfico.com is going to give you a real FICO. It's going to give you all the other FICOs in there too. Auto FICO, mortgage FICO, all these things. Credit card FICO, all this stuff. You're going to get your reports as well. What I've seen on the reports, they look good. They look like they're not all jacked up and I'm not trying to, Credit Karma is not accurate, okay? So my FICO looks good. If somebody's looking at like something else that gives them their FICO and their reports and it works out for them and their budget and so on, so forth, so be it, right? Credit Karma is not the best, not accurate. Some individuals are just using it to, that's what they can utilize right now. No problem. But if you can afford the MyFICO, if you can get the MyFICO, I think it's worth it, okay? Garrett won. I didn't. I won. Garrett won his case, huh? Good work. Garrett says that's the secret. In writing, certified. So you can prove it. That's right. You can prove you sent your stuff. The Randy Smith. That's it. Experian app is solid for credit scores and reports as well. That's what I'm hearing. And I have a buddy who's using the Experian app. And that's the other one that I was kind of thinking about talking about, but you know, it might be a little bit different for people's budgets and whatnot. So take a look, see what works for you. But my FICO seems really good. Experian seems all right. The reason I kind of like supporting the bureaus, basically, right? I don't like giving them money, the Experian app, if you're paying Experian directly, right? But as a third party, my FICO is FICO. It's the FICO, right? So I like it. Where can I find my credit reports to start it? Okay, so what's an affordable way to get your credit reports? You can get free credit reports. I just pulled this for a friend of mine. Annualcreditreport.com. I'll put it here right now for everyone. Every 12 months, you can get your 3 reports. All right, you can use that. Galactic just signed up with Awesome Life Group today. Thank you, Brandon. You've given me hope for the future. You're very welcome. That's what I do. I want to save as many lives as possible. Help and save your lives. Get your life going. Get your financial situation squared away. Change my life. I want to change your life. Help you. Then you help your family. They help that. This is generational wealth. Okay? Generational wealth. David, if the bank gives me my FICO 9 score, does this mean that this is the score they're using to qualify? That's the question you got to ask them, David. Now, chances are probably. David, probably. However, you got to ask them these questions because you don't know, brother, right? And if you're going to apply with them, you should know. You should ask, hey, you know, just wondering what score do you pull from, and you know, what score is it, and what do you guys look at, and that kind of stuff. They will tell you. Okay, they want to get you qualified. It's not some secret. They just don't think consumers care or know or want to know. Well, they're not going to go into all of it. I ask, I find out, they will tell me. Okay. DK Author had 12 student loan late removed down to just 1. Thank you. I appreciate you. David says, okay, great. Thanks. Good work. What is FICO 2, 5, and 4? Jay was asking. FICO 2, 5, and 4. Okay. FICO number 2, FICO 5, and FICO 4. 3 different FICOs, 3 different bureaus that use for mortgage lending. Okay. So they're just older FICO scores. FICO 2, FICO 3, FICO 4, FICO 5, FICO 6, 7, 8, 9, right? They're just different FICO scores. Each bureau uses 2. I'm going to actually look it up. And this way, you know what you're looking for when you are applying for a home mortgage. Okay. Equifax uses FICO 5. They call it Beacon 5. So when you're going to get a home loan, okay, and you want to get, you're trying to know what credit score I have so I can get my home loan. Equifax Beacon 5, they call it. Okay. Equifax uses FICO 5. Experian uses FICO 2. Okay. And TransUnion uses FICO 4. Okay. TransUnion FICO 4, Experian number 2, Equifax 5. All right. That's what I talk about when I talk about the other FICOs. Because people are like, hey, my credit score is good, my credit score is good, my credit score is good, or my credit score is not good, not good. I don't know, it's not good. You want to look at the right score for the right situation. Your credit score might be higher than what you think it is on an older model. It might be. Okay. It might be higher on the newer models. You want to take a look. That's why I do like my FICO, especially if you're going to invest in something, like a home. How are those student loan rates? You can dispute those student loan rates. You can send goodwill letters. You can dispute and send goodwill letters at the same time. You can dispute with the lender. You got all these options. 609creditrepair.com, or we can do the work for you at the Awesome Life Group. David says, gotcha, makes sense. My FICO 9 is slightly higher than my FICO 8. Great. Nice. What up, Brandon? Had 3 accounts deleted on my first round. About to send my second round. Thank you for the letter. Stephen Lewis, you're very welcome. Kametia, been with the Awesome Life Group 5 months. Definitely worth it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Stacy, if you need help, let me know what's going on, because you're saying this people are giving you a hard time. All right, cool. Send my email. Edwin, all right. Should you clear all negative items before purchasing an authorized user trade line? Okay. Depends on what you're doing, Edwin, on what negative items you have. It might be challenging if you're just getting one authorized user trade line and putting it on there. It may not make a huge difference. A friend of mine went through bankruptcy. We put a bunch of authorized user trade lines on there and boosted the score into the 700s. Okay. It depends what you're doing as well. So if you have some negative items and it still doesn't, if you have these authorized users and they're still looking at some negative items, they're like, well, we don't want to give you business funding, or we don't want to give you this, or we don't get you the right rate or whatever. It just depends. Typically, I say, yeah, get these negative, nasty, erroneous items off of there. If you got like a late payment, or you got like there's one little thing left over, something that's just kind of not, you're still in the 700s and you're like, oh, well, I'd rather boost it up even higher so I can get a better rate. I'm at 690, I'm at 700, somewhere in here, and I want to boost it up a little bit. Probably work because you don't get much left on there that's negative, then so be it. But if you got a lot of negative, nasty, erroneous items off, get those off first. Yeah, I think that's your best bet, especially long-term anyway. Latoya Bush, can I send you an email about my situation? Yes. Let me make sure I put my email here again. Does credit utilization become a factor when adding yourself as an authorized user on high limit cards? Credit utilization can get better, but just make sure somebody's not maxing out that card. It could mess up your credit utilization, This is great. Brandon, if there's a company that you owe, but they're no longer around anymore, can they be removed? Yes, they can. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Latoya Bush, you're very welcome. Which smaller bureaus would you recommend freezing? CBC Innovis, ARS, SageStream, CoreLogic, LexisNexis. Jennifer, is it possible to have late pays removed from credit card companies? Yes, it is possible. You can dispute late payments with the bureaus. You can send goodwill letters as well, okay, to your credit card companies. It depends. Are they completely negative? Are they actually charge-offs? You want to get them completely off? Yeah. Oh, for your this is Garrett saying, if added as an authorized user, you cannot have hard inquiries for being as an authorized user. I think what you're saying is right. Most usually when you become an authorized user, you don't get a hard inquiry for that, right? Yeah. Tiff Jackson, is that the company, right? Because it's got to be the actual company. Okay. Toys R Us might not be the company that you actually quote unquote. Oh, Tiff Jackson. Okay. You got to think maybe it's a different bank, right? It's a different bank issuing a credit card. This is very confusing because, hey, your credit card might say Toys R Us. It might say Comp USA was one that what's the other one that went Circuit City? Okay. Those are not the companies that are financing whatever it is that you're purchasing. Okay. Though a lot of those store cards are what? Community Bank. That's the bank. But they don't tell you this, right? HSBC is sometimes store cards. HSBC Bank, sometimes store cards. So even if it says CompUSA, Toys R Us, these types of things, that TIF, that might not be you utilize that credit card and the bank pays the store and you pay the bank. You see how that works, Tiff? So if the bank wasn't around anymore, yeah, you can have that removed. Tiff says, yeah, okay, she gets it now. Okay. But dispute this negative stuff, all right? Yes, I'm an authorized user on an account and it is negative. Can it be removed? Yes. In fact, okay, I'm really enjoying this live stream. I'm having a good time, but I probably should. Okay, I probably should get back to doing the emails and the getting the disputes out and all this good stuff. But yes, absolutely. You don't want to be an authorized user on something that's making your score worse, right? Of course. Okay. So how do you get off of it? First and foremost, you could have whoever put you on there take you off, or you could send or. It doesn't have to be an either or. It could be and you do this. You can send a letter. Okay. According to Section 603 of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, only information on credit issued to a consumer is allowed. If you are an authorized user, you don't not fall into this category, you're not responsible for the debt and did not receive credit. An authorized user did not, so forth and so on. 603, form offer of credit insurance verification, the consumer furnishing any collateral that is requirement, extension of credit insurance. It goes on and on and on. Please promptly delete and remove this authorized authorized user account, right? So yes, you can do this type of stuff. 609creditrepair.com. We can do the work for you at the awesomelifegroup.com. If this video helped you out, please give a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. I really love going live. I enjoy it. It's wonderful to do midweek live stream at lunchtime when it's live time. And I want to go live again on the weekend as well. So please, please, please do not hesitate to, email me, right? I'm about to jump off here. I love you all so very much. And until I see you in person, I will see you on the other side. Take care.